Hello, I'm Andrew Laws, founder of YesEO, and welcome to this week's edition of The Filter. Remember, none of the articles I'm going to talk about are linked to in the show notes. To get the links to everything I'm going to talk about, you need to go to yeseo.io/thefilter. Now we've got that out of the way, let's proceed. So first item in this week's email is a bit of a warning that if you've got an old Google account, especially if it's a Gmail account that you haven't logged into for a while, then you need to go and log into it if you want to keep it. Google's having a big clear out. They're going to get rid of all the accounts that haven't been logged into in the last 2 years. And I would say that it's worth trying to consider how long 2 years is, because I thought I'd double check on a few of my old accounts, things that I'd used for tests or something an account I used to sign up for some service I haven't used for years. And I was surprised how many of those fell into that category. Time moves fast. So read the article if you want more information, but the real takeaway here is make sure you've logged into all your Google related accounts, especially your Gmail accounts or Google Mail if you want to go old school. Check you log into them. Log into them in the next week. If you don't want to lose them, don't hang around. Next article is just a bit of a well-being article about the need to log off. It's about doomscrolling. Now, if you've got teenage kids like I have, you've probably heard the phrase doomscrolling, or at least seen it in action as teenagers live with their phones in their hands. This is just we all know the dangers of the blue light from the screens at bedtime, but I don't think it does any harm to look at these articles every now and then, just because there's always a bit of new, fresh insight in there. So I thought that was a good one. Although the image I chose for that is about the most cliched stock image ever, the laptop going in the bin, which of course doesn't have a manufacturer name on it, because I don't think any manufacturer would want a picture of their laptop going into the bin. So last article for this week's edition of The Filter is a technical one. Almost every SEO project we ever work on, we spend time looking at the navigation of a website and the structure of a website. It's incredibly important to SEO. I don't know who just fell over outside my office there. Right. But I've never quite gotten around to writing an article about how to sort out site structure and how to work these things out. So for this one, I'm just going to defer to Rank Math, because they've written a really good and very comprehensive article. If you really want to get into how important page layout is on a website, read this article. It covers it brilliantly. Next up, we've just got the usual weekly reminder that James and I will be doing an AMA on LinkedIn. That's an Ask Me Anything this Wednesday at noon GMT. I've also linked to an article that I published yesterday, if you're watching this on Tuesday, and it's about the why behind YesEO. Why do we exist? What are we doing? How did it all start? It's an origin story of sorts, only with less superpowers like flying. But again, it's something I get asked fairly frequently, especially if I'm a guest on a podcast or something. Why did I start? What is the why behind YesEO? And I'm really interested in the why behind almost any company that I speak to. So I'm going to share my why with you. And something else I just wanted to highlight is that I had a very lovely guest on my podcast this week, and it's the brilliant Claire Lucas. She's a VA and many other things. She runs a really cool thing called the Productivity Club, so I'll put a link in for listening to that. And finally, just a silly meme, because I like to put a silly meme in, although this one does kind of tie into keyword research and the importance of correct spelling. So there you go. There is this week's edition of The Filter. Thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, then thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber yet, remember, go to yeseo.io. It's going to be there. yeseo.io/thefilter. That's it. Until next week. See you later.